Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees. Today's video is about the fear of bees and when you should not be cautious with them in different scenarios, and even with different genetics of bees. It could all vary from the type of bee that you have right here. I didn't get the camera adjusted good enough. It's my pollen feeder. It's where they're just thousands and thousands of bees, and they're just right here, all over me, all around my legs, flying, landing on me. These bees have absolutely no reason at all to try to sting me, none. And their purpose is to feed, and that's all they're thinking about. They're not thinking about their hive and protecting the brood or protecting their colony. The only thing that they're thinking about is getting food. And there's a lot of times, and I'm trying to get the fear out of people that maybe not even be beekeepers. Situations, and this also can include wasps or yellowjackets as well. If you're not close to their nest, 9 times out of 10, and I know people's going to say, well, there's always that one chance. Well, I got to say that because nothing's 100% sure every time. But I would even go as far as to say 99% of the time. If you're not in a situation close to their colony or their nest, they're not going to sting you. They have no reason to sting you. Now, if I get popped here and stung, it's probably because the hives are right back there. So I may be taking a little bit more chance, because if they sting me, they're thinking about protecting their colony. It has nothing to do with what's right here around me. So I just kind of wanted to get people to understand that, the people that has a fear of bees in general. And it's kind of, when it comes to like wearing bee suits and not wearing bee suits, it's just a matter of learning your bees. You know, when I first started out years and years ago, I wore a bee suit. But then after a while, I took the gloves off and I just had a bee suit and the gloves. Then after that, I pretty much just had just a veil. And now, you know, different situations, sometimes I'll put a veil on, because there's times as a commercial beekeeper, you have to go out into the bee yard at times where bees are more aggressive. And to keep from getting stung in the eye and get my eye closed, or stung in the mouth or in the lip or in the nose, I put a veil on. And plus, see how they're in my face like right now? They're not doing it to be mean. They're just checking me out and just flying around. Well, when you're trying to focus in a bee yard, and you're trying to focus on seeing brood and seeing eggs, it's kind of distracting when they're doing that, and when you got one of them that's trying to intimidate you, run you off. And to me, it's just, I can focus better if I do have a veil on. Not always, I don't always do, but in a lot of situations, I will put a veil on. I apologize for the camera shaking right now. The wind's blowing a little bit. I got it on that tripod. I can see now it's trying to go out of focus, and I don't know why it's doing that. This is my new phone I got. It's the Galaxy Note 9. It's done really good so far, except for just where it just went out of focus. I don't know why. But when you see bees out in the yard, don't be afraid and don't run. And even wasps and stuff, and when they land on you, the worst thing that you could do is freak out and start shaking and swatting at them. That's the worst possible thing you can do, because then the bees think they're under attack, and then they will sting you. So when one lands on you, don't start swatting and striking at them. You either just push them off gently, or just leave, or shake them off gently, you know, and then walk away. Because if they feel like you're threatening them, then they will sting you. Now, just sitting here right here, the only time that I could possibly get stung would be if I would bump up against one. And the first take on this video, and I had to remake it because my camera moved, I did get popped on the lake here, and I looked down and my leg was up against a bee. So they're all over the ground around me. So, you know, I was always taking a chance sitting down anyway. But I just want people to see the situation and just see how these, you can move them around. They don't care. When I did the video on the Yellowjackets, and people just thought that I was either crazy or Superman one. The comments that I got back, you know, Man of Steel and some other things I won't say on camera, but it's just the scenario that those Yellowjackets were in. They wasn't there to fight. They wasn't there to protect the nest. They was there to eat. And the trap was set up to, of course, kill them. But they was coming after the sugar water and the protein mix that I had in the trap, and that's what they was going after. So they have no interest in stinging me. They would have stung me if I'd have trapped them or grabbed a hold of one or laid my hand up against them or something like that. So the same situation. Had I been with that many Yellowjackets at the side of their nest, I'd have been in some big trouble. I would have been covered up and hurt really bad. And because Yellowjackets, unlike honeybees, are not gentle. If you mess around with their colony, they're going to get you. There's no such thing that I know of as gentle Yellowjackets. So honeybees are completely different. We can go in their colonies, and we always try to pick the right time to go in those colonies, and usually the right time is on a sunny, hot day when they're all out foraging. That's when the bees are happy and they could care less if you're in there. And the worst part of the days is like early morning, late in the evening, overcast, rain, cold is when the bees are less happy. So keep that in mind. And I do a lot of videos about these pollen feeders here, and like I said, there's some on there that says no, you shouldn't feed pollen because you're going to hurt them. Well, ask those same people why the big commercial growers, why they put so much pollen in their hives over winter. They put a lot of pollen, and I've heard different people tell me that, people that know commercial growers personally, and we do too. And of course, they use the pollen patties, but they got huge colonies, and it doesn't cause a mess because there's so many bees in there. They'll put 5 or 10 pounds of pollen in there and then restock it later on. And I've had a lot of people tell me this. They do that to ensure that their bees are strong and healthy come out spring. And that's how they can have so much honey so quick, is they got tons of bees, and they feed them. They actually feed them right through the winter, and they don't ever stop feeding pollen. So look, I'm just talking about experience, and get online and do the research and start asking people, and commercial growers, if you get an opportunity, and they'll tell you the same thing. You feed your bees to get them strong. They got to have a protein source. And the bees will, like I said in the previous video, the bees will throttle down automatically anyway because of the length of the days, the temperatures. There's different variables that exist, and not just feeding pollen. Pollen is just a food source that they need. So I just wanted to say that today, and I want to talk a little bit about the fear of bees and how you can get over this fear. Start to look, if you're not allergic to them. This don't go out to everybody. I don't want to offend people and get people mad, because there's some people that really react to bee stings, and I understand that. But there's some that doesn't. And with my situation, I swelled really bad at first, and then over a period of time, and I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, well, allergic reactions can happen. It can. It's always a chance. But everything in life is a chance and a risk. But those situations are extremely rare. And what I would advise in anyone with that fear is to get you some EpiPens. Tell your doctor, and that's what we did. Tell your doctor that you're a beekeeper and you need EpiPens. You can get a generic version. I got 2 of them for like $20 or $25 cheap, and we keep them handy. You know, if that situation ever happened. Plus, we keep a lot of liquid Benadryl, or just a pill, whatever you like. There's ways to be precautious. You just got to take those steps, and that's how you do it. You start off slow. You take your gloves off, and then you work your way down from there. But do what's comfortable for yourself. like I said, I don't want to offend anybody or get anybody's feathers riled up, but everyone's different. I'm not saying I'm not going to down somebody for wearing a bee suit, and I'm not going to down somebody for not wearing a bee suit. You do what's best for you, and if your body can handle it and take the stings without anaphylactic reactions, and I know, like I got to start to say there a second ago, some people will say, well, you may not have any bad reactions, and then one day it'll hit you. It's possible, but it's not probable. You know, it's a situation where it could happen, but more than likely, it's not going to happen. You got more of a chance driving out here on the road and dying tomorrow than you will anaphylactic shock with bees when you're normally not allergic to them. So I just want to kind of put that out. Now, I know I'll step on a few toes, but apologize ahead of time for that, but I speak my mind, so I'm going to tell you what I think. And that's about it. Remember, bees, packages, nukes. Get your orders in now, barnyardbees.com. Gift cards right now, we got them at the store. We're open Tuesdays, 10 till 5, Saturdays, 10 till 2. So don't forget, if you need a supplier this year, some of the larger companies are going out of business and changing, and we got a lot of supplies. And I want to give a thanks to also Sweet Iris Farms. They got a homestead channel up in West Virginia. Real good homestead channel. Go check it out. I'll put the link in the description. Go check them out. They're very good. Know what they're saying. Highly advisable. Go check them out. And they gave us a shout out on our supplies, and they're good friends of ours. So, and they're beekeepers as well. So go check out Sweet Iris Farms. And don't forget, like, click on the little bell. You'll be notified of new videos. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching Barnyard Bees. Now if I can get up without getting stung.